Hello, everybody, and welcome back to episode 9 of the Postman Podcast here with me, Mikey, and Zach. How y'all doing?
Yo.
Hanging in there. Not too bad.
Doing all right.
How about
doing
you?
all right, you know.
I'm doing pretty good. The summertime's about to hit. I'm about to be done with school, so I'm excited. So is Mikey as well.
Woohoo.
It's finally warming up. I'm
Yeah.
happy.
It's actually
And
80 degrees for
It's
once.
second spring, so we're just past the pollinating. We're in the pollinating, I think, in Virginia.
Okay.
Fun fact, Virginia Beach is top 5 in the nation for worst pollen distribution.
Oh, God.
So for somebody with allergies like me, it's great.
I'm sure the allergies must suck sometimes.
It's a great time. My car's yellow every day. It's
Of
a red
course.
car, for anybody wondering.
Nah, I want to start off. I want to start off with a nice little icebreaker for you guys. It seems like a dumb one, but like, what's your favorite season?
Summer. Easy.
You're a summer guy.
Yeah,
the
big summer
fall.
guy. Big.
Yes, sir.
Give me the
Fall.
You got
I love the fall.
baseball playoffs. You got football. You've got Thanksgiving. You've got finally get cold weather. It's
You start getting
prettiest
hockey
season by far.
for me.
Yeah. For me, it's summer ball. Summer means summer ball, and summer ball is just fun to watch.
Oh, I'm sure.
Dog days of summer.
I'm
home
always
run
gonna
derby.
be a fall guy. Not only is the sports the best, I am always a sucker for like when the weather's between like 70 to 50 degrees for me. That's just always so nice. I'm
Why
so
don't you say
used
the
to
high
like.
number first.
I sometimes do that.
I see that.
But yeah, when it's I think it's because of with like sports writing. I sometimes like write high to low with certain articles, especially with soccer sometimes. But I guess going into sports, we had a fun. I mean, it's been a wild week with sports. Starting with kind of the absolute chaos that was wrestling. I'm gonna let Mikey take the lead on this one.
WrestleMania. Yeah, WrestleMania was this past weekend. Crazy stuff. I'll just start off with just the results in general. Did either of y'all watch at all?
I saw a few
anything?
clips. Jimmy sent me stuff, and there's a few clips I saw on Twitter from a few artists I listen to. Because a lot of people in my community love WrestleMania and like love wrestling.
Yeah.
So I've been trying to get a tiny bit back into wrestling.
I was tracking it, but I was driving the whole time. To tell you the
Yeah,
truth.
no, that's fair.
All over the place.
Easter weekend, driving around, it's
I
hard to
I had
catch.
to come see
so-
Mama, you know.
Yeah, no, that's fair. That's
Shout
fair.
out,
I mean,
Mama, if you're
I didn't watch it till today, actually, most of it. So, so just running through the results. Jey Uso defeated Gunther. He's now the new world heavyweight champion. Yeah. The New Day defeated the War Raiders, and they're the new tag champs. Jade Cargill defeated Naomi. Jacob Fatu defeated LA Knight to become the new United States champion. El Grande Americano defeated Rey Fenix. Tiffany Stratton defeated Charlotte Flair to retain the championship, the women's championship. Seth Rollins defeated Roman Reigns and CM Punk in their triple threat, and I'll have more to say on that in a little bit. Then night 2, let's see, Io Sky defeated Bianca and Rhea for the women's championship. Drew McIntyre defeated Damian Priest. Dominic Mysterio defeated Braun Breaker, Finn Balor, and Penta to become the new Intercontinental Championship. Randy Orton defeated Joe Hendry. Logan Paul defeated AJ Styles. Absolute upset. So disappointed.
Ain't no chance they gave Logan Paul a win in rest.
Yes, they did. They keep pushing him.
Someone just put a bullet
I don't know
through
why.
my head
Don't ask me
seeing
why.
that.
Then Lyra Valkyria and Becky Lynch defeated Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez to become the new women's tag team champs, with Becky Lynch returning at WrestleMania. And then John Cena defeated Cody Rhodes to become the new WWE champion.
Can you call him new?
Technically, he's a new
17-time champion, and he's going
not
home
new.
with it. Yeah. I don't know if y'all saw
Correct.
I don't know if y'all saw the interview after the match. John Cena was like, these all feel like, oh my gosh, what did he say? I can't remember exactly what he said wording wise, but he was like, these all feel like clickbait titles for like news posts, and that's how he just responded to every question.
I found it. It
Yeah.
says, that seems like a clickbait question. That's pretty lazy. Next question, please.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. That's how he just responded to every question. He asked like 4, and he's like, "Well, I guess nobody's really got any good questions here, so I'm just gonna go ahead
also
and go."
reported that Cena decried the questions as clickbait.
Yeah.
According to
Hey,
Forbes.
that's great.
Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah.
I
Clickbait. Yep.
I
John
just-
Cena's all about that clickbait.
I just have to say this though. How bad do you think AJ Styles is gonna get tortured online for the fact that he lost to Logan Paul?
Hey, dude.
Like all these people are professional wrestlers,
So-
and I'm not saying he's not, but he is
Who's
also
the guy
on
that
YouTube.
lost? Jake Paul. Who's the guy that lost to him? He slept him right before Tyson.
Oh shoot! You said before Tyson?
Yeah.
Oh.
The
Give me
guy,
one
the
second.
meme of him like unconscious, face down on the ground.
I'm looking him up right now. Give me a few minutes to look.
You know who I'm talking about?
Was it Nate Robinson? Was it,
I think it was.
or was it Tyron Woodley?
No, I thought it was Nate Robinson.
I think it was Nate Robinson.
Which,
Which, by the way,
the meme is like, he got flamed.
well, I mean, what do you expect? It's Nate Robinson. Do you know how tall that man is?
Yeah.
Do you know how tall Nate Robinson is? He is 5'9".
So Muggsy Bogues, is that the guy's name? NBA Hall of Fame. Like, that's the vibe I get. Like,
Yeah.
For people wondering if you're not a basketball person, Muggsy Bogues. Bugs? I always can't say his name.
Bogues.
Bogues.
I think
Bogues.
it's Bogues.
O's.
This dude had a 14-season career in the NBA, and he was 5'3". That's insane.
He's a stud.
Legend.
He's a stud.
Legend.
Wake
Cameo in
Forest
Space
man
Jam, by the
himself.
way.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
The first one?
He was one of the 4.
the
Barkley
first
was
one?
there. Patrick Ewing was there. Jordan was
Oh,
there.
damn.
The original, the good one. I haven't seen the.
He's not wrong. Oh, okay.
But
Yeah. Well, the Cody Rhodes John Cena match was definitely one to
highlight.
remember for not the reason you would expect. I think it was Travis Scott that came out to help John Cena out of all the people. Yes. Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
with the Astro World.
Yeah, they started playing
Quite
his theme
literally.
song because I think his song was like the theme song for WrestleMania, if I'm not
Oh, nice.
mistaken. The Fiend, whatever. Yeah.
Oh, no, that's a
Yeah.
Playboy Cardi
Yeah.
song. Don't ask me
Is
why
it?
I know that, but yeah, Fiend is a Playboy Cardi song.
Oh, is it? Okay.
Mhm.
My bad. Sorry,
But it might.
any fans out there.
I forget. No, you're good.
But yeah, Travis Scott just comes out to help John Cena for who knows why. I don't know, but he helps him
That's
win.
hilarious.
Yep, and John Cena's just gonna take the belt and run. Logan
He's
Paul.
done?
Yep, he's done. He's
walking into the sunset with his
He's gonna
title.
disappoint everybody tonight, apparently.
To be fair, we thought he was done 10 years ago. But
That's fair.
He's
Yeah.
taking his title
I
and
knew
walking
he was
into
gonna
the
win
sunset.
once the commentators like, oh, it's been 7 years since John Cena has won a singles match. Oh wow, okay, thanks for telling me that. I know he's gonna win now. Thank you.
yeah.
So, Logan Paul defeating AJ Styles. I don't know why they keep pushing Logan Paul, but they do.
There's some wild stuff I've seen with
It's
wrestling.
just
First it was Aisha Speed, then it was Logan Paul, now it's Travis Scott.
Hey, don't
Yeah.
forget,
Hey,
was
man.
McAfee announcing it, or was
Yes,
he?
yeah,
He was announcing
He
it.
was, yeah, he was on the announcing table.
Also, iShow Speed got rocked.
Oh yeah, that was.
Dude.
You seen that clip?
Yeah.
There was an interview I saw with Triple H after the fact where he told him, he was like, you know, you're gonna get absolutely rocked. You're gonna get hit just as hard as everyone else. You know what Aisha Speed said? Yeah, I know.
Yeah, I know.
Like, he's a
That's
legend
okay.
for that.
Yeah. Let's see. Randy Orton versus Joe Henry. If y'all get a chance to, you gotta go find the clip of Randy Orton giving the RKO to Joe Henry. It is the most funny thing.
Oh,
He
that's-
turns around, looks at the camera zooms in on his face, and then all of a sudden you just see RKO out of nowhere. Just he comes into view. So funny. Honestly, though, the match that stole the show, in my opinion, was the Io Sky versus Bianca versus Rhea that opened. Dude, they were just flying all over the place. Like, it was 100 miles an hour the entire time.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it was very fun to watch.
So wait, it was a free for all
match.
triple threat.
Yeah, triple threat. Yeah.
That is kind of sick. I can't lie.
Yeah, no, it was one of the best matches on both nights. And then from the first night, really the only match that I really enjoyed, well, two matches. The Jacob Fatu versus LA Knight. That was a good match.
LA Knight's always going to make it fun.
Yeah, Tiffany versus Charlotte was okay. It did its job. Charlotte's just getting too old. Sorry. She's past her prime, but she still wants to be in the spotlight type of deal. So, and it kind of shows, and the fans notice it too. And they're like, hey, like, let's let the young talent get in there. Because I think Tiffany's only like 24, 25. Charlotte's like pushing 40, I think. I think she's 39, I want to say. Correct me if I'm wrong. But the crazy match was the Seth Rollins versus Roman versus CM Punk. Where,
that's wild.
So, CM Punk, so backtracking, 2020, when Roman Reigns came back, he was with Paul Heyman, as wrestling fans would know. Well, CM Punk teamed with Roman at last year's War Games, and for that, CM Punk asked Paul Heyman for a favor. Well, the favor was that he'd be in his corner for WrestleMania, so that sparked up drama. And there was a point in the match where CM Punk and Roman were both looking at Paul Heyman, and Paul Heyman had a chair in his hands. And so Paul passes the chair to CM Punk, who then like stares down Roman about to hit him, and Paul Heyman comes up behind him and just gives him a low blow. Like, oh, well, he's gonna side with Roman. So then Roman gets the chair and is about to go hit Seth in the back because CM Punk's out of it now. He's done for. He got low blowed, and Paul Heyman does the exact same thing to Roman. We're like, oh, okay.
What?
Didn't see that coming. And he joined sides with Seth Rollins for Seth to win. Probably didn't see that coming at all. Like, that was just straight up plot twist out of nowhere. Great match overall. Like, definitely the night one favorite match.
That's a wild
it was just a roller coaster. I'm gonna be honest. It was just a roller coaster of a match, and I enjoyed this WrestleMania. Probably not my favorite WrestleMania, but definitely one that I could see being people's favorites. So
I can see that. I mean, of the clips I saw online, it just looked awesome. I've always given credit. Well, I've never personally been a big WWE fan recently. Like, I would say recently, it's just wrestling's never really been something that's like caught my eye. I always give so much credit. They have some of the best production I ever see in sports. They know how to put on a show.
Yeah, for sure.
But I guess moving away from wrestling now, we're starting to hit the playoffs. Now we got hockey and basketball running full speed ahead in the playoffs right now. And I feel like started with the earlier one being the NBA. We had the play-in tournaments, and folks, oof. Bulls, oof.
A tough look, man.
Tough look for both of us, but
keep trying to pin this on me like I was the one who was saying, oh, the Bulls are going to win their first game, and they're going to give the Celtics some trouble. No, they're not.
Well,
they got whacked twice.
Yeah, I did not think. Well, okay, the Magic beating them. Okay, I'll give credit. I was maybe just a little low on the Magic. Although saying that, neither them or the winner of the other spot, which is the Heat, the team I dogged on. I mean, I give all credit in the world Tyler Hero. Oh my God,
he was a hero.
Oh my God, there's a reason there's a song about him by Jack Harlow, but dude, it's unbelievable. There's just no getting around that because he single-handedly kept the Heat from being probably the biggest laughingstock in the East this season. because they were a train wreck after the Jimmy Butler trade. They were terrible. And him and Andrew Wiggins are pretty much the only reasons the Heat walked into a playoff spot, which you got to give them credit for.
How about those Kings, huh?
Yeah, how about them?
Oof.
Suck.
We'll be seeing
That
you.
was a tough look.
Bad.
That was a
We'll
tough
be
look.
seeing you.
Well, I was just
Lose
surprised how few of the
to
games
the
in the play-in
Mavericks.
were close. Like, there weren't many close games.
No, not at all.
The Warriors
was
game was
a-
good.
It was a grand total of really 2 close games. The Warriors-Grizzlies game,
That was a
and then
good
the
game.
OT game against the Hawks. I know the score got a little separated at the end, but that was a fantastic game. Trae Young put up 40 just to lose. Like, dude, get him out of Atlanta right now. Get that man out of Atlanta. Put him somewhere that's actually better.
The guy they traded for, the Hawks would have had Luka, but they traded Luka for Trae straight up on draft day. Did you know that?
Really?
They were drafted both, I think, top 5, and they just said, you know what? Do you want him? Take him. Just take our guy.
I hate to say this. I don't think Luke is fixing the Hawks. Like how
Well,
they drafted him.
I bet
no
you could have
offense.
fixed the Mavs.
Yeah. Hey, what's that one quote he repeated at infinitive at a conference? Defense wins championships. Zach, how about you read to me how many points the Mavericks gave up in their loss to the Grizzlies to send Grizzlies to the playoffs?
A bunch.
Do you have it up right? If you don't, I can
Hold
read
on,
it.
give me 1 second.
Yeah.
It was close to 40, right?
Oh, you mean like, oh, they gave up to who?
To the Grizzlies, the Mavericks.
Oh, they gave up 120.
They gave up 120 points, folks. Defense
What was-
wins championships, though, right?
What was the score difference?
120 to
106.
106.
Conveniently, the same score they beat the Kings by.
Was it really 14?
Same exact score, actually.
Oh
106
my
to
god, that
120.
is hilarious.
Wasn't there one game where it was like a 40-point gap?
You want to talk about that, Zach?
Yeah,
You
I
want
do.
me-
I do. My NBA Finals pick from last week, if you guys remember. OKC Thunder.
Who did they beat?
The Grizzlies kicked the snot out of them.
Who did the Grizzlies beat?
The Mavericks. Hey, talk about
Fro-
that Red River rivalry, huh? That Oklahoma-Texas thing.
Oops.
Talk about 51 in a playoff game.
131 to 80.
That's crazy. That's
That game was
That's-
over in the second quarter.
The game was over probably halfway through the first quarter. Let's be real.
Also, want to point out Golden State's 1-0 against Houston.
Oh my god. Dude, don't remind me that game. I was so angry watching that game. I was so angry. Did you see the one Steph 3? Dude is falling backwards halfway between the freaking sideline and 3-point line. Hand in his face, Jalen Green has like every possible inch of getting that, like keeping that from being a good shot. Ball just switches in. Doesn't even hit the rim, just falls in.
Can we all acknowledge that the best series is going to be Lakers or Clippers Nuggets?
Oh, absolutely.
Crazy first couple games. They're actually locked in it right now. It's 46-45 in the second.
I will say
wow.
keep that Pistons next series. It's looking pretty solid right now.
What
That
the
series
chances
is
of score
chippy
is
and nasty.
at the end?
But no, that series has been insane. I mean, talk about poetic justice. Russell Westbrook treated as absolute cancer on the Clippers, traded away for like basically nothing, and he not single-handedly, but like the last few minutes, bails out the Nuggets from
No
losing
coach,
that
by the
game.
way.
Who is their coach? Is it like one of the Bets guys?
I don't know.
I'm gonna look that up. Give me 1 second.
Just some random
their head
guy
coach, he
they
got
found on
fired.
eBay, probably. They went on
David
eBay.
Adelman as the interim head coach. But there's 2 teams in the West. Think about that. There's 2 teams in the West with no head coach right now.
That's crazy.
Well,
The Grizzlies.
It
Oh,
still
you mean still
baffles
alive?
me.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Suns
still-
fired their coach.
Yeah, it
Pretty-
still
So the
baffles me
Kings. So.
that you would fire your coach in playoffs. Like,
It's crazy you'd fire your coach when you finish with a 48-win season, or in the Nuggets case, a 50-win season. Think about that, Mikey.
yeah,
You got 50 out of 81 games, or 82 games, my bad. 50 out of 82 games for the Nuggets, and 48 out of 82 for the Grizzlies.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. That's just insane to me. Like, I don't even know what to say. Like, fire your coach on a winning record in
People are so
playoffs.
good.
Like, it's just
Like, yeah, the Nuggets had a playoff spot locked up, I think, or pretty close to when they fired their coach. It's like, what are
Yeah.
you doing?
Well, they fired their coach and GM within the same day.
Yeah, I mean,
Well, here's the thing.
From what
I can
I
understand the
understand,
GM from what I've heard.
Yeah.
yeah. GM is one thing, but your coach in the middle of a season,
Malone, I have
That-
no
that-
idea.
it
He's
just-
a great coach
that
as
just
well.
confuses me.
Malone
that's-
is an unbelievable head coach as well, which is the worst, which is the most baffling bit.
Nick, are we scared of the Lakers' lack of a true center?
Now, what's funny is I thought it was going to be Gobert who exposed their center problems. He did terrible
He did
in the first. He did nothing. Man was a ghost. I swear to God, that man just forgets he's 7'1" most nights. It's just unbelievable. No, it was Naz Reid, who's 6'9", went and took his fist and punched the Lakers straight in the face through that first game, which is unbelievable to see. I just want to point that out.
Doncic had like 40, and they lost by 25.
Do you know who had the next highest points after LeBron, Austin Reeves, and Doncic?
No.
Who?
Rui Hachimura
Oh, yeah.
with 9.
Known baller.
Oh, 9.
They have such little depth after those 3, and it's going to get exposed if they can't start finding guys. Because
Not in a playoff route, but I just want to point out that the OKC Thunder have a decent chance at 3 first-round picks.
how?
Wow.
Grizzlies don't own their pick. If the Sixers don't get a lottery pick, it goes to the Thunder. And the Thunder have the Clippers pick. They pick swapped with the Clippers.
I forgot about that.
Wow.
I forgot about the pick swap.
I don't know if they have the Grizzlies, but they have somebody in that little window, the play-in window. Because I know the Wizards have another one. That might be the Grizzlies.
Let me see. Thunder. First round
But that Sixers pick,
picks.
if that pick is 7th overall, that goes to the Thunder.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
How? What?
The Thunder are going to be good for a long time.
Dude, that's insane.
Back the bank truck up for SGA too. Yeah, he's gonna win the MVP.
So
He better win the MVP.
it was Miami.
Yeah.
Is the Heat's first round pick. What? That's
Telling
wild.
you, man. Craziness.
Dude.
Wow.
And there's some talented guys coming out of the draft this year for the. So I know there's like 1 or 2 guys from Europe. There's Cooper Flagg. There's Derek Queen. It was gonna be JT Toppin, but he's coming back. I have to go look,
Big
but there is some
12.
crazy talent going to the NBA this year from college.
Well, because it's all the COVID guys.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And this is
Like
their
the very
last
end
year.
of the COVID.
Yeah, so
group.
all the super seniors are coming in going crazy.
Yeah.
I mean, look at Florida. Florida had a really old team. I don't think the national championship between Houston and Florida had a freshman.
I think you're right.
I think it was maybe one bench guy, but
Watch
none of the starters were
OKC get
freshmen.
Walter Clayton.
Do what?
Watch OKC get Walter Clayton.
That'd be insane.
I'd cry.
That would be insane.
I'd cry. I'm so glad OKC is to the West.
Or Derek Queen to pair up with SGA.
If they get well, they can't get a lottery pick. Derek Queen, I heard, is going like top 3, top 5. So
Walter Clayton might not, though.
no, he's like 18th to like 25th. So that's why I'm saying like that's something that could happen for the Thunder, which would be crazy.
Well, speaking of the draft, switching gears a little bit,
Mm-hmm.
we got another draft coming up this week.
You mean the one that's gonna make us cry when we don't get the guy that we pray for?
I mean,
well,
yeah.
Not as much you, but me maybe.
Yeah, I mean, there's gonna be an interesting draft though. Fun fact: this is the first time in common draft history that every team owns their pick in the first round.
Really?
All 32 teams own their pick right now.
Well, in the past few years, it's been like teams have been way more conservative with trading away picks. It seems like outside of the Trey Lance deal.
So my guess for that is that these teams understand that the talent coming out of college now is worth more than a seasoned veteran who's kind of mid.
Mm-hmm.
Like taking a gamble on, a college guy that balled out is more worth it than going after like a Kirk Cousins. You know what I mean? Like there's a reason him and Aaron Rodgers haven't signed. Well, Aaron Rodgers may be different. He might just be a head case, but
he is a head case. I'll die on that hill.
But that being said, the guy I look at like that is Ashton Genty. Like that guy, I am so upset he lost the Heisman because he deserved the Heisman.
Between the tight end award with Harold Fenton, Nick Nash, and Genty, I wanted to crash out watching the award ceremony. I wanted to absolutely crash. I was so angry watching that series.
Well, they were talking about, they don't play competition, and then, the guy who wins the Heisman's in the Big 12. It's like, okay. As much as I like the Big 12 for basketball, football,
yeah.
Come on.
Give the tight end award to a guy who had like 300 yards less, 20 catches left, and like 4 touchdowns.
Did it go to 1?
Less. Yes. Because he had one 200-yard game against USC and everybody lost their mind, I guess.
Dang.
That was a good
I'll
game.
forever be bitter about it. That was the one Penn State game I watched with my boy Jack and a friend from East Stroudsburg. But
well, except for the playoff game where they lost and everything.
Where do you think Genty will go?
I don't think he's going to be a top 10 pick just because people don't like running backs. I know it's the year they're running back, and running backs are all-time high right now. Well, since the 90s, but with Derrick Henry and Barkley going crazy. But I'm not sure I see him going top 10. I could see him going to Dallas. Like, he works out in Dallas. They missed on Henry
12.
because they pure stupidity missed on Derrick Henry. Thank you for that, Dallas. Appreciate that. But he's the type of guy that they need. He's a Zeke, that's my comparison to Genty anyway. Mm-hmm. Workhorse with a ton of speed. Mm-hmm. It's just he can break through guys, but he can also outrun people. Like he can outrun a defensive back and truck a linebacker in the same play.
He's crazy to watch. Like some of the highlights from especially the Oregon game is always my go-to, dude. I watched that game, and if they actually had a defense that game, honestly, if they had a defense most of that season, they probably would have actually gone on a deep run. But you know who I think he'll go to? I do think the top 10 pick's fair. I do think there is one team in that top 10 who desperately needs a running back right now.
Vegas.
Give me Vegas. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Dude, pair him up with Geno Smith. Pair him up with Geno Smith, Brock Bowers, Jacoby Myers.
Zamir White.
Bad. Dude, the number 2 running back is probably going to be Sincere McCormick next year.
He was on my fantasy team. It didn't work out.
No.
I picked up Amir Abdullah, his replacement. Also didn't work out.
He was okay for a few games.
Nah.
Sincere McCormick was good, which is funny. But yeah, give me Genty because they were one of the worst teams throwing the ball, and they were the worst team running the ball last year. The worst by a country mile. They need a running back.
I just think they're the Raiders are a defensive first round team. I mean, for a lot of these teams they play into archetypes unless there's a superhuman freak. They will play into archetypes and draft pretty similar guys every time. Like the Ravens are always going to go after receiver, corner, or edge rusher. They don't really tend to do a whole lot outside of that. The Raiders are a defensive team, so I see them getting Mason Graham.
They have taken a first-round pick on a running back. I will point that out. They did take Josh Jacobs, who ended up being great. Well, great enough to get another deal somewhere else because the Vegas is bad. But I feel like I look at Ashton Genty.
But that was a 15.
Oh yeah,
that wasn't a 7. 7 for top 7. honestly, anything inside the top 10 should be a Hall of Famer, to tell you the truth.
Mm-hmm.
Like, at least an All-Pro. Top 5, Hall of Famer. Top 10, probably multi-time All-Pro. Should be the goal.
And that's what I feel like you'll get with someone like Ashton Genty. And I look at this like right now with what the Lions did with Jahmyr Gibbs and what the Falcons did with Bijan. Sometimes, even if it doesn't seem like the best idea off the cuff, sometimes it's just best to just take the guy who is literally the most talented player available. And I think you're not Mason Graham ain't going out of the top 5. He is going to one of the Giants or the Jaguars. So
I don't think so. Maybe
the
the
Jaguars'
Giants.
defense is horrible.
I guess, honestly, he probably doesn't make it past Jacksonville.
No, there's
I know
no
they love
chance.
him.
Yeah, I see the Jaguars picking him up. Jaguars need defense.
They need a lot of things.
Well, yeah, but defense.
I will die on the hill. Trevor Lawrence is a bust. I told you that when he was in Clemson. But that's a conversation for another day. Where do you think Travis Hunter's going to go? Do you think Hunter goes 2 or 3 or 4? I guess. Because it's Titans, Browns, Giants, Patriots, Jags, right?
Yep. And then I'll just do 6 or 10 quickly. Raiders, Jets, Panthers, Saints, Bears. Yeah, no, 2. I can't. There's maybe a world where Abdul Carter maybe not fall, but like the Browns get him to try a pair with Myles Garrett, but I can't. I can't see a world where they don't. They're the one team who said that they want to see him play both sides.
I have a hard time with Cam Ward being lock at 1. Like, I understand that, there's a quarterback almost always going to go number 1 overall. But my issue is that Abdul Carter tracks like a Micah Parsons or like a Myles Garrett. He that level of game wrecker. And if that level of game wrecker, who is honestly, my opinion, going to be the best player in this draft class, like if you had to pick a guy that's like pick a Hall of Famer in this draft class, Abdul Carter, easy, not a debate in my mind. But my problem with that is like if you have that on the board, why are you taking a QB? You have a QB. He's not very good, but you have other options at QB. You have the number 1 overall pick. Get the best player in the draft. My opinion, top 3, I don't care about need. Top 3, you pick the best guy on the board. You figure the rest out later. Because you're telling me the Titans are a Cam Ward away from competing? No. They need a receiver. They need running back. Rico Dowdle is not the answer. They need receivers. They need a defense. Their defense, and their O-line is terrible.
And that's
so
the biggest thing.
You're telling me that Cam Ward is suddenly going to go in there and not be a bust? Like that I'm not going to say he's a bust, but my problem with it, why in the world are you taking Cam Ward 1 overall? You have no business taking Cam Ward number 1. Take the Hall of Famer. Take Abdul Carter. I don't understand why he's the consensus, minus 10,000 pick to go number 1 overall just because he's the QB. And you need a QB. Like, take the easy money. Go get the guy and build around him. Trade back into the first round, get a receiver, or take the 9 other QBs that are just as mid. I don't know.
And I think, well, here's something I wanted to do because I thought this was curious. Since 2010, guys, how many first-round picks do you think have been QBs? Have not been QBs, let me rephrase it. Since 2010.
First overall picks?
First overall pick. Out of the last 15 drafts.
2. Jadeveon Clowney and Myles Garrett.
I'll say 4.
4. Mikey's on the dot.
Dang. Yes!
You got those 2, Myles Garrett and Jadeveon Clowney. The year prior to Clowney, the Chiefs had the number 1 pick.
Oh.
And they took Eric Fisher.
They did.
A freak tackle from Central Michigan, I just want to point out.
That didn't work.
A dude from the MAC got drafted number 1. That's never happening again. And then, that was 2010. And then the very last one, 2022, Trayvon Walker.
I still can't believe they didn't get Hutch.
Number 2 was hot for anyone wondering.
That was insane to me.
You want to know why the Jaguars are still currently a mess? Look at that pick is why.
It honestly wasn't a bad pick. He just has no support, and he wasn't the game wrecker.
Nobody thought he should have went number 1.
He wasn't the one, but he was a great player. He just is not a game wrecker.
He just shouldn't have been number 1 is the problem.
Well, that's true. You should have taken Hutch. Like, everybody knew that. And Detroit was like, thank you very much. But that's exactly what's going to happen to Tennessee. I'm telling you right now. Because there is no way that what's crazy to me is that Abdul Carter is going to fall into the Giants' laps. They still might not
waste
take
his career.
but like, he's their next Strahan if they get him. I know, I'm making a lot of really bold claims here.
That's a bold claim given how stacked the Giants' line is currently.
Dude, you adding him to that?
It's
you
definitely
can't
gonna
tell me
help.
that they won't have a top 10 D line after that.
I mean, what is it currently? You have Dexter Lawrence, Brian Burns, Kayvon Thibodeau. I'm pretty sure is Okereke a linebacker or
I think he's a linebacker.
He's a linebacker, but I think he's an outside linebacker. But
and then you add Abdul Carter to that and tell me that's not outrageous.
Yeah, I would think so.
Yeah, but my problem, Cleveland is Cleveland. They're going to be Cleveland forever. So they're probably going to take Hunter. And I'm not saying Hunter's bad, and he's probably better for them if he can play both sides. But I have a distinct issue with passing on Abdul Carter. You know what I'm saying?
I think that's fair. And the big thing with Cam Ward, I've always seen this interesting. Again, this is where TikTok sometimes helps and hurts me.
Isn't he like 26 or something? He's really old.
24, I think.
Yeah.
23, 24. No, 23. He's 23. But the biggest thing with him is, from what I remember, everybody talked about Miami had a top 5 offensive line in all of college football. Like, he consistently had 6, 7, 8, 9 seconds to throw the football, sit back there, run around, make plays, break tackles. And I think you can do that in the NFL, but Caleb Williams showed last year that just doesn't work. That's how you take bad sacks, get in long downs, and just look stupid. And I see that even worse with Cam Ward, with a team that has no offensive line, no plan to fix their offensive line, and really the only developed guy they've had over the years has been Peter Skoronski. I mean, J.C. Latham's okay, but he had a brutal first year, and I don't think to his own fault, but because that team is terrible.
I'm just saying, man, it's a tough look. What are you gonna do? Like, I don't agree with Cam. I think he's number 1 overall, and he's the consensus, but I don't agree with the choice from Tennessee. I'd rather them trade back.
So I guess with the number 1 pick, kind of also, how many QBs do you think are going to get taken? I mean, obviously, Cam Ward's probably going to be in the first round. Let me phrase it.
Yeah.
4.
You think 4 in the first
You are
round?
crazy.
Why? I mean,
I think it'd be
you've
2.
got, so you figure, first of all,
I got 2.
this is the weakest draft class in like 10 or 15 years. From a grading standpoint, the talent on the back end of the first round is not there. I've seen scouts say as far as anything past the top like 12 or 13 is not graded a first round pick.
That's insane.
There just isn't a whole lot. I mean, there just isn't a whole lot of top end talent. They all came back for their senior years, like Drew Aller, guys like Carson Beck, like guys who honestly aren't that great, but would have been high draft picks. They're returning. Because they're gonna make more money. But you figure with that, and every team having their own pick, you have every team's opportunity to not only draft the QB of the future, but that's going to start like a Cam Ward or Shedeur probably. You've got guys who are going to take over for the old guard that's in right now. So I see, and I'll list them all out where they're going. Cam Ward's going to Tennessee. I mentioned that. Not happy.
Yeah.
Honestly.
Yeah.
I'll say Shedeur goes to New Orleans.
My dad's gonna
I'm
be
not
so
sure.
mad about that one.
Well, I don't think he's gonna, like, I have a hard time believing he's gonna fall out of the top 10, but very possible. I don't think that he gets drafted top 5. I wouldn't be surprised if he does, but again, I don't see it. I don't see the Giants going after him after they just got 2 QBs, and the Browns would be stupid if they took him. So
After getting
honestly,
2
they probably
QBs.
will. Pittsburgh needs a QB. They don't have one.
I agree with that.
So they're going to go get, and you ready for this one?
You say Jackson Dart.
Jalen Milroe.
You're out of your mind.
All I'm saying, why did he accept the invite to the first round? Why did he get invited?
If the Steelers take him in the first round.
You don't invite guys unless they're a lock, because you don't want a guy who's going to sit there all night looking lonely and sad. Yeah, you don't want a guy who's going to sit there looking all lonely and sad and, making the draft look bad. So he has a pretty high degree of confidence that he's going in the first round. You think that he hasn't seen the 55,000 mock drafts where he's in the third round? You don't think that...
I'm sure.
You don't think he's got an agent that says, hey, man, you're going to embarrass yourself if you show up? Somebody is in his ear telling him he's getting drafted. And he's getting drafted on Thursday. Somebody is in his ear.
Or
if the Steelers...
Pittsburgh needs a spark. Everybody knows that. They are listening to the hater, and they get this, really old, can't move quarterback, and their offense is stagnant. They just lost Najee Harris, so they don't have a running back. I mean, their running back is fine. Warren is okay. He's not a game wrecker. They have DK now, so they need a QB that's going to move, and they need a QB that can sling him the ball. Milroe is a fantastic running quarterback. What I think is going to happen is they're going to try to bank on this Lamar idea of, hey, get a running QB that's maybe not the most polished, quarterback. Have a good receiver that can go get the ball. It doesn't have to be a perfect throw. All he's got to do is go up and chuck it, and DK's going to high point the ball.
2 guys to do that.
Yeah, and Pickens will do the same thing if assuming he's got his head screwed on straight. You're
assuming either of them have their heads screwed on straight.
Well, DK more likely than Pickens, but my belief is that they're going to build on this idea of a project, and they're just going to have to tell their fans, look, it's going to be a mess. Like, it's going to be a mess, but it's going to be a much smaller mess than if they were to go sign Aaron Rodgers. Because if they went and got Aaron Rodgers or Kirk Cousins, they're going to be the same thing that they've done every year since 2008. Or more accurately, since Big Ben retired. They go in, they bring a guy, they middle of the road, not doing anything useful. They come in and they get absolutely whacked. They're not good enough for a good draft pick, or they're not bad enough for a good draft pick, but they're not good enough to compete. Jalen Milroe gives them the best chance, outside of Shedeur Sanders maybe. If he falls, they're going to take him. But they might, if he falls to like 13, they'll probably trade up. But given this situation, I think they're going to try to build on this project idea, get a running QB that can chuck a little bit, and go get it. Because, again, there's not a whole lot of options back half of the first round in terms of first-round grade that's a lock. And then the last one, Jackson Dart's going to the Rams. Matt Stafford's replacement. Same type of QB,
I can see that
system.
one.
So those are my 4.
If you call that, Zach, all props to you, but I just don't see that happening. I just don't.
The Steelers they're not skipping a QB in the first round. They can't.
No, they're going to go for a QB.
They have to get somebody. I mean, if it's Dart or Milroe, but they cannot skip a QB. They don't have one.
But the thing I'm saying
Mason
here is,
Rudolph is QB. As much as I hate the Steelers, you can't.
Jalen Milroe in the second round.
I don't think so. I don't think, unless you get him in the first 5 or 10 picks, I don't think that you're going to be... Like, the Steelers will not have a chance again unless they trade up. They don't have a second-round pick, actually.
I think you'd almost have a chance to get him in the third round.
They traded away for DK. Their next pick is end of the third round. That's why I'm saying they have to go QB here. They don't have a choice.
Yeah, they're going to go QB. I just don't think they're going to go Milroe.
Well, if
they went Dart, I wouldn't be surprised. But I think Milroe is a better upside.
Is it possible that they trade down?
No.
And try to get some, like, a second-round pick or something like that? Or
I mean, if the guy that they want at QB is gone, whether that's Sanders or Milroe or Dart, if he's gone, they might trade down if they think that they can get, if somebody moves up, like if somebody like a Washington moves up and says, hey, we need this corner right now. If we need Malachi Starks right now. I know he's a safety, but like we need to jump whoever's in front of, or whoever's behind Pittsburgh, we need to jump them. Then maybe you get a second round out of that. But honestly, if they don't get a QB with their first-round pick, they're an idiot. That the entire organization has failed their fan base.
Huh. I don't know. It's going to be interesting to see.
Because Rodgers just said, I might sign, I might not. I haven't decided yet. And do you really want Rodgers if you're Pittsburgh?
No. No one wants him.
Like,
no
or
one
do you want
wants
Kirk
him.
Cousins maybe? Like, you know, you got to eat that salary, at least half the salary. That's what the Falcons are asking for.
Well, they're also stupid and crazy, and that's not happening.
I mean, what do you do? Like, that's what
Trust
I'm saying.
me.
Like, they went into last year with the idea that, hey, you know, we're going to go draft and we're going to develop one of the 2 QBs that we signed and made the playoffs with. No, we're going to let them both go to New York.
Still so funny. I just want to point that out.
But no, I see 4. Milroe, I don't know why. I'm just getting a lot of hype about Milroe. A lot of people are really excited about him, and the fact that he got invited, and he accepted the invite to the first round of the draft just tells me a lot.
Yeah, I think that would be really interesting to keep an ear out for.
That's also
not
my
sold.
biggest shock of the first round.
Yeah.
No, I think
I'm
that's a
not
fair
sold.
one.
If you call it though, I give you a nice little clap on the back.
Next week, stay tuned. As much as I don't want him to be in Pittsburgh, I don't like that idea, but Pittsburgh's got to keep up, or they're going to be dead last in that division real quick.
You know what I think? I do have one that I feel like is going to be crazy. I do have one surprise I'm going to say. And this surprise is, I don't think Jacksonville actually takes Mason Graham. I think they go, and this dude shoots up into the top 5. This dude's been flying up boards. I really don't get it, but I've seen some footage now, and now I'm starting to get it. I'm going to say this. I think Mike Green goes top 5. And if people wonder, Mike Green is an edge rusher. He played at Marshall, which is in West Virginia. He had great stats there, but nothing that crazy flew off the board. Everybody had him as like a late first rounder, early second rounder. Then he went to the combine, went absolutely crazy, and had an unbelievable senior day as well, from what I saw. And skyrocketed up boards. Like, he is now projected as a top 10 pick. And I think the Jaguars finally rectified a mistake of drafting. I think Mason Graham is a fantastic player. Like, the main comparison I always look at him is like what Brian Breesy is for the Saints right now. But I think with getting an athletic, absolute freak in someone like Mike Green, you are rectifying. Like, they're going to try to rectify the mistake of what happened with what happened with Walker versus Hutchinson, like we talked about earlier. So that'll be the big one. That'll be the big shock for me. One question I wanted to ask you, Zach, was so like the last thing I could think of for the draft is, who do you want Ravens to pick? Is there one guy you were looking at, or?
I don't think
I know
they'll get
you
him.
guys
I
have-
really don't think they'll get him, but
What's your
Malachi
pick,
Starks would
28?
be great. I don't think he'll fall that far, but
Okay, Starks, yeah.
I've
Where's your
seen him
pick?
going 22, 23, but I'd love to get him or an edge.
There's one name I've been seeing pop up with the Ravens a lot.
There's one guy, I forget his name, but he's an edge rusher, and everybody just screams freak of nature, Baltimore Raven.
It might be the guy from Boston College, because this is the guy I've been seeing a few times in a few boards. His name is Donovan Ezraku.
There it is.
Yep, I can attest to this because I watched the Duquesne game against him. He had 3 sacks in that game and looked disgusting. Like, that dude is a freak. He's 6'3", 250. And he's projected to go 40th. He's like one of those guys that's very, like, I guess the crazy way to say it, he reminds me, and you might not like this comparison given that he's not been good, he reminds me of Tyree Wilson a little bit from the Raiders.
Well,
I know that's not the greatest comparison.
the
but
Ravens are a defensive machine. In terms of talent development, they've always been this way. Like, they'll pull guys, and they love their freaks of nature, projects, especially at edge rusher. I mean, look at the last 10 years. They've got Jalen Ferguson, rest in peace, unfortunately, but great player. You got Adafe Owe. You've got David Ajabo, second-round pick, but still, David Ajabo. I mean, you just name them. List off edge rushers that are just, they absolutely love their freak athletic guys. Like, they don't even, because of the state that they always are drafting at, they go best available. And the Ravens are the king of the best player available. They've been doing that since they started. They don't do needs. They've never done needs.
Zach Orr would love to have someone like him there.
I'm saying that, dude. Like, they need an edge rusher really bad. I would be thrilled if they got him. I also have seen a couple things saying the Ravens might trade out.
Of the first?
Just out of the first. I mean, it's a late round. Every team has their first round pick. So if somebody's out there, like Milroe, if he's still there, somebody's gonna come back in and get him, or something like that. It's like if somebody sees a guy that they don't think is gonna get past the beginning of the second round, like if they think the Browns are gonna take a QB in the second round, which is very possible, they're gonna go get him early. So they're gonna take the Eagles pick, or they're gonna take the Ravens pick, or something like that. Because somebody's gonna jump back in. They always do. Late first round. I mean, that's what the Ravens did for Lamar.
Yeah.
After the Eagles won the Super Bowl,
that was
their pick.
I mean, that's a good one. I like that. Yeah, no, I mean, that would be setting up your team pretty well. I guess I want to look at mine for a second, and this is a funny one. There's only one trade they show for the first round in this mock that I've looked at, and it's with Seattle trading with the Cardinals. That's called a crime. Absolutely not. But it's to get Teratoa McMillan, which if he falls to 16, that's a crime. But if I were to say who I want Seattle to get, because again, I don't think Teratoa McMillan is actually realistic in the least. If that does happen, I'll laugh hysterically. But I want Seattle to get Tyler Booker at this point from Alabama. This team, the best way to describe Seattle is like watching the Steelers with the added bonus of not making the playoffs half the time. It's painful. What?
DK. Go get Emeka Egbuka.
I just don't think he's high enough. Like I said, if Luther Burden's there, I would love to get him as well because I think he's an absolute stud.
Or Golden Tate.
Golden's not bad either. Matt Golden. Or Matthew Golden or whatever. Yeah. He's not bad either. I wouldn't be against any of those three. I think Emeka's going to be like late first round, like 30, 31. I want Seattle to fix their offensive line. They've had so many problems with offensive line. Here's a fun fact that's made me want to die inside. Playing? He retired.
Again? Isn't he like 48?
41.
Right.
But here's a fun fact with Seattle that's made me die inside as a fan. Do you know when was the last time Seattle had an above average, so I'm talking 16-1 for offensive line?
2012.
2012.
Oh, I nailed that. I didn't know that.
No, you did. Actually, no, 2013, the year we won the Super Bowl.
Okay.
My bad.
Was that before or after they threw it to Malcolm Butler?
Not before. Did the year before.
Should have run the ball.
Yeah, no kidding. They also shouldn't let Max Unger walk, but that's another story. But the reason I say this is because they've never taken the offensive line seriously. John Snyder has actively drove me crazy with how much he just is bad at getting offensive line to come. He's been someone who has screamed all the time that interior offensive linemen shouldn't get paid, and then he's shocked that no one wants to sign in Seattle. Because, again, they didn't make an active offer this year to try to get someone. The only guy they tried was Will Fries from Indy, and he was okay, but nothing great. So I'm not against the guys that let walk. The only guy I really wanted Seattle to get via free agency was Mekhi Becton, and he went to the Chargers, so oh well. But I think you rectify the situation with Tyler Booker. That would be the start to showing Seattle, hey, we take actually building the offensive line seriously. And that's what I need right now. So, but now let's get away from football because I'm gonna die inside if I see Seattle take like a defensive lineman or like, no offense, I would be fine with Malachi Starks, but I'd just be upset with the fact that they're not addressing their biggest problems. But getting away from that,
coach.
Yeah, I wouldn't be against it. It just would suck because of the problems I've said earlier. But let's get to the sport I've been dreading the most.
No, don't.
I feel like we all have.
I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it. I don't.
Yeah.
So it's been a rough week for a lot of us for baseball.
I don't want to hear the
rough week for
above 500. Sky is falling.
Yeah.
Sir.
Oh no.
You mean the above 500
13
team with a negative run differential?
Yeah.
Who's given up the most runs in the National League East?
The Phillies?
Yeah, that team.
Yes.
They have a +1 differential. Looking at it right now.
Is it really +1?
Yes,
oh,
it's
right, because
+1.
they scored 3
It's
runs in the
+1.
ninth.
It's a
Whoop-de-doo.
now.
+1.
Yeah, I mean.
Let me drink myself into oblivion to celebrate.
Yeah, you know what the Nats is? -20. You know how good our bullpen is? We almost blew a 12-2 lead. All right, I don't want to hear anything. We almost
My
blew
team
a
gave up
12-2 lead.
6 runs in the ninth.
12-2 lead.
Welcome to my life.
I got 2 words
I've
for
watched
you.
this story for 5 years.
I got 2 words for you. Charlie Morton. I don't want. Shut up. I don't want to hear anything out of you.
I feel like
Charlie
Zach's the
Morton,
most down bad
fire
right
him
now.
into the
Sun.
sun.
I feel like Zach's the most down bad out of the 3 of us. So I guess let's kind of. Who wants to go first, or how rough the week's been for their team? You want me to go first?
I'll start.
Go
I'll
ahead.
start.
Go ahead.
Mike, you
Let's hear
start.
the good news first.
Yeah.
Otherwise known as
well-
Phillies news.
Nah, I'll go first. Yeah, Nats, tied for bottom of the league, 9-13. Thankfully, we actually did something against the Rockies. Almost blew game 1. Got snowed out. Well, actually, hold on, backtrack. First game got snowed out. So
Which
that
is
was
hilarious, by the way. It's
interesting.
April.
Yeah, it's middle of April, and
Middle of April.
and Colorado got, I think, 8 inches of snow. I want to
lot.
say. Yeah.
Oh my
Yeah, they got a
God.
lot of snow. Like I saw the video.
I
Of
know
them
Utah
shoveling
also
the
got
field.
a load of snow as well.
So, yeah.
Known
the
baseball
Nats
town.
somehow pulled off the
Yeah,
first game
soon.
against the Rockies, barely up 12-2, by the way, and then almost lost 12-11. I want to say, I think it was 12-2 going into the 8th inning, if I'm not
For
mistaken.
reference, it was the 7th inning. They then proceeded to give up 8 runs in the 7th inning.
Yes. Yeah.
Who did it that time?
Because the Nats bullpen, let's just say, is...
A combined Lucas Sims, Colin Poche, and Jose Ferrer.
Yeah. We
Masterclass.
threw in our best arms to make sure.
I forgot.
I'm trying to find the ERAs now. We went
I
over
have
last
Sims
week,
and-
but I wanna
I have Sims and
figure it.
Poches.
Yeah. What are they? Let me know.
Sims
What are
is 15.26.
they? Excuse me.
And that's the lower of the two.
Oh my God.
Before, which fun fact, he pitched a clean outing actually in one of the 2 games against the Rockies. I forget which one, which dropped his ERA from 19.29 to 15.88.
Nats bullpen, everybody. The
Good
finest,
Lord.
the finest bullpen that we have. Yeah.
And somehow you guys have blown the saves, which is the saddest part.
Yeah. Well, and then, so the first game we somehow pulled it off. Then comes Sunday, we won the first game 3-2, and then lost the second game 1-3. So we did take 2 out of 3 from the Rockies, but not by much. I'm gonna be honest. Not by much. In a hitters friendly ballpark, with the lineup that the Nationals have, probably should have crushed them every single game, but yeah, it's just rough to watch with our pitching. Like our
I feel
offense
bad.
is
Your
pretty
starting pitching has been so good this year.
Yes, our starters have been really
Minus
good, especially
Mackenzie
Mackenzie
Gore.
Gore is a dark horse for Cy Young.
Mackenzie Gore is on fire right now. I am loving what he is showing and putting
Well,
on
you
the
guys-
table. But
You guys have 4 starters you can consistently rely on, which is
Yeah.
a very nice thing.
yes, it's nice to have, but then you get to the bullpen and it's like a coin flip whether or not you're gonna get a good outing, or if you're gonna be given 5+ runs in the late innings. So it's it's heads or tails, and when you gotta have an offense score 6+ runs every single night to win a ball game, it's just not gonna happen without a good pitching staff.
Ain't that the truth?
Yeah, yeah, and I know that's been your problem with Philly, even though they're over 500.
Yeah, that's courtesy of winning a lot of games at the first start of the season. So,
Still over 500. Still over 500.
okay, so here's the thing. If you look at just the record alone, you would think, hey, Philly's not doing that bad. But then you look at the fact they've not only given up 106 runs, their offense is bordering on anemic. They got 2 guys in the top 5 worst in MLB in WAR. They have a bullpen that has blown the most saves in all of baseball. And a starter they extended big time who has gotten shelled this whole season through 5 outings. The record doesn't mean anything. It means they're dancing between the raindrops right now. And you know what happens when you dance between the raindrops? You get exposed eventually. These last 3 games have exposed the Phillies. I don't care that they won the first game of that set. They gave up 6 runs, leading 11-4, and Jordan Romano couldn't even get the 3rd out. It was like watching Luis Familia play the Pirates 3 years ago. Like, he is up there now with some of my least favorite relievers next to James Norwood and Luis Familia. Send him to Guangdong. I absolutely hate Jordan Romano.
I'm sorry. Guangdong.
Because you want... Yes.
Guangdong Tigers. It's a basketball team.
He probably could play basketball better than baseball at this point, I'm convinced.
We'll see. We shall see.
But the reason I say this, you know what? Both his pitches, his fastball and slider, opponents are slugging 600 over them. 600 for both his fastball and slider. And then the watch tonight, they blew game 2, wasting Luzardo's 7-inning beauty because of a stupid error and a 3-run bomb to some random guy who got 5 RBIs that day. And then tonight against the Mets, Nola pitches his tail off, goes 6 innings, gives up 2 runs, couldn't get through the 7th. Jose Ruiz comes in, ruins it. 1 pitch, meatball, Lindor. Again.
Lindor with a drive!
Frankie Lindo.
You remember that audio clip?
Yeah.
He was with the Indians.
He's dying.
Very much. And then just to kick me one more time in the proverbial nuts, they decide to come back being down 5-0 and get 4 back in the 9th just to lose by 1. After getting shelled by Tyler McGill, I want to point out.
They just wanted to save.
How many runs have the Phillies given up this year?
106.
And that's got them beat 113. Dang.
Let's go.
So,
no contest, but still.
No, I get it. On the surface, if you look at the record, yes, things are fine with Philly. But if you look underneath, there is a metric load of problems, none of which are going to get solved anytime soon, and are going to get exposed the longer the season goes on. And maybe I'm wrong. I've seen this thing. I saw this article that read about it. Philly's bullpen last year had a 7 ERA through April, and then proceeded to have a 2.1 through the next 3 months. But that bullpen was also way more talented, was the other issue. This bullpen is cheeks this year. So nothing makes me believe that things are going to get better.
Yeah.
And I keep saying they have the worst guy in WAR in all of baseball, in Alec Boehm, who they should have never brought back in the first place. Jock Peterson has a 200 OPS, and Boehm is a worse player. Ran over, I'm sorry. Zach, how bad have the Orioles been?
I don't want to talk about it, but I will. So, happy Easter to all those who celebrate, especially the Orioles, who celebrated by laying an egg. And they lost, count them, 24-2.
Just to point out, the Reds then proceeded to lose next game to the Marlins 6-8 or 6-3.
Yeah. So I guess the good news first. Gunnar is starting to hit well. Adley's starting to hit well again. Jackson Holliday again looks pretty good. He's doing the right things. He's just not getting rewarded. That being said, our entire pitching staff is AA quality, to tell you the truth.
We have one guy.
Well, he's hurt, so.
Oh, Sugano.
Well,
He's all right.
He's fine. I was looking at it today. So on the current Orioles depth chart, I believe the rotation is comprised of 4, 5, 6, 9, and 13. So it's going about as well as you think.
Is that the ERA?
No, that's in terms of their current location on the depth chart.
Oh.
Yeah, that's somehow worse.
Wait, who's 13? Is it that
Brandon Young.
Okay. I was trying to remember.
He actually didn't pitch bad. But Charlie Morton is horrendous. I got an issue with you. Like, don't get me wrong.
Poor Charlie Morton.
I'm happy as a part-time Nats fan. I'm happy Patrick Corbin is not in Washington, but it appears that the worst pitcher in baseball still resides in Maryland. Magically, against all odds. He went a whopping 7 outs, 7 hits allowed, 7 earned runs in his wonderful start that he is now 0-5 and has allowed at least 4 runs in each of his starts.
Oh my God!
So that's 4 earned runs in every start.
Can I say something before you
Yeah.
it's with the Reds game? Before the position players came in, do you know how many home runs they had in that game through the first 7 innings?
No. Yeah, it checks out.
One.
It was the first run from Ellie De La Cruz.
Nice.
Yeah. Oh, and Charlie Morton had an error too.
Oh yeah, he had that horrific pickoff throw.
Yeah, so that's
Yeah.
just, let's add to it a little bit. They finished with 24 runs allowed, 25 hits allowed. And Charlie Morton has an almost 11 ERA as a starter.
Nice. I mean, hey.
Petit has a 16.8 ERA. He pitched 2.2. He gave up 5 runs. CNL Perez,
Did not make
he went
things
2. He had the best outing of the day. He only gave up 3. He has an 11 ERA. And then they brought in Jorge Mateo, the shortstop, center fielder.
Yeah.
Why they threw him in the outfield is anybody's guess.
He's in the outfield?
Yeah, part-time.
What?
Because Colton Cowser's hurt, but...
Oh, no.
I mean, where are you going to put him in the infield? Jackson
Right.
Holiday took his
You
job.
can't.
But,
Who's Jackson Holiday?
Yeah,
Yeah,
apparently
okay.
he's a part-time pitcher now. He's not a very good one. But he pitched an inning and gave up 5 runs. So that's cool.
Hurt his war a little bit.
And then the Kraken
brutal.
came in, and that's when I crashed out. But to tell you the truth, he pitched the inning. He gave up 4 runs. I just want to point out they had 6 strikeouts as a staff. They had 11 walks. 11 walks. They had more walks than they currently have wins.
I think they also hit like 3
They are
guys
9
as well.
and 12.
I think they hit
Well,
3 guys as well.
Tomorrow's
One
going
of
to
which
be
were
an
around.
interesting day, Zach. It's
Nobody
gonna
in
be-
the so Charlie Morton, Petit, and Perez all have above a 2 WHIP. Walk, hits, and innings pitched. They're expected
has
to
the
give up at
lowest?
least 2 walks or hits per inning that they
Who has
pitch.
the lowest of the 3?
Morton with a 2.23. Petit has a 3. It's flat. And Perez has a 2.61. Yeah, but they're only 3 games below 500, which is a freaking miracle. But I believe our worst fears have been realized. Our pitching staff is horrendous. Absolutely horrendous.
Yeah.
And there's nothing you can do about it. Like, outside of going to get Sandy if we don't get healthy, there's nothing that's going to happen. I mean,
Because how
Eflin's
long
coming
is
back
Eflin
soon.
and...
Eflin's coming back
Eflin
soon. Grayson is coming back soon. But Bradish and Kramer
Wells?
are out for a while. They're
No,
gonna be out
Kramer's
for a
still there.
while.
It's Wells who's
I
out.
don't think he's pitching right now.
No, he is. He's not been doing good.
Oh, is he? Okay, then then Wells is going to be out for a while. Bradish is going to be out for a while.
Mm-hmm.
Like second half of the year while.
Oh, wow.
But Grayson's coming back in May, I think, and Eflin's coming back soon. So that's going to be a little bit of reinforcement, but Kyle Gibson's coming back, I think, May 1st. He's going to start. So we'll see. Another one on the old
They
man
brought
train.
it back, Kyle Gibson?
Yeah, they brought him back like the last week of spring training. So we'll see, but there's only so much a good offense can do when your pitching staff gives up 8 runs a game.
Yeah.
I think they're 28th in rotation ERA.
Oof.
As a playoff hopeful, that's really, really bad.
Yeah.
So it's one after the other, and there's only so much you can do from a bullpen perspective. Their bullpen's not bad. Like
No, the bullpen's
they've had
solid.
they've had some really good moments. Batista's coming back. Cano is coming back. Well, still shoving, I guess. Cano's always been pretty good. Soto hasn't been bad. He had one bad outing, but for the most part, hasn't been bad.
Yeah, he's the other Philly. He's doing phenomenal.
Yay.
The guy you told me not to worry about.
Yeah.
Yeah. How's Romano treating you? But
I want to die.
but yeah.
Yeah, how good's Dominguez been?
He's been great.
0 ERA, by the way. I just want to point that out.
He's been great.
I want
But
to
that's my
die.
problem. It doesn't
Deal with
matter
it.
because they come in with a 4-run deficit.
Yeah, it doesn't matter if they
matter.
shut the door if they don't.
They
have
lost a series to the Reds.
lead.
What are we doing? How you get whacked on Easter? It's a holiday. You're at home. You got whacked.
The home bay is the worst.
At some point, just call it and go have dinner with your families. Like, man, mercy rule or something.
Because the
Good
worst
grief.
part, I think the ultimate thing that made it that worst night, the 8 and 9 spots for that game went 11 for 14 with 13 RBIs and 2 bombs.
Nice. Yeah.
Who were those guys? No, Levy Marte. You know, the guy suspended 80 games for PED suspension and has been a failed prospect in the Luis Castillo trade. And Austin Wins, a career journeyman catcher who was the backup to Tyler Stevenson.
He had 6 hits.
He went 6 for 7.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's like, what are you gonna do from an
I think
offensive
we're all down
perspective?
bad right
What
now.
are you gonna do? But yeah, I'm terrified. I think the alarm bells are going off. The rotation is horrendous, absolutely horrendous. There's like, outside of people getting healthy and maybe a blockbuster trade, there's not much you're gonna do. But this is where I'm thinking, if you're Mike Elias, the GM, you gotta get rid of one of these prospects that are stuck in AAA. Kobe Mayo's gotta go. I love him. He's gotta go.
Do you think they make a drastic move, like not trading for someone, but like sometimes we've said this, you got to cut out what's not working?
If they don't get rid of Morton by the end of May, we're gonna have some problems.
So you and me both agree we have someone miserable on our teams that need to get cut before the end of May.
Dude, Morton is...
I agree
What's
as well.
happened to him?
He's old.
Wait, who's
He's
the Nats?
41.
Wait, oh, it is Mikey's. Who's the Nats?
He's ancient.
Colin Poche.
What about Sims?
That's a fair one.
I mean, either or.
Sims has
Honestly.
had a few. I watched the game against the Pirates. He looked actually decent in that outing. Like, Sims has
Until
had
he
an
gets-
okay outing or two.
Poche
has looked so bad.
He's just
He's
so
looked
bad.
So bad. He has no command at
He
all.
has 5.2 innings pitched, and he's given up 11
How-
runs.
How many walks has he had?
10 to 8 strikeouts.
Good God.
17
Yeah.
outs he's gotten.
So
He's
if we're on bad stats, who do y'all think has the least amount of WAR this year so far?
I call him Poche.
Morton.
No.
Oh, are you talking about for the Nats or for
No, just in general. Just in general.
Alec Boehm?
No. It's actually not Bohm.
That's amazing to hear. Is it Jock Peterson now?
Yes, it is Jock Peterson.
How bad is he hitting?
Negative .9. He is batting a whopping .055.
055.
Yes. He has 3 hits.
Guess as many hits as Brandon Marsh.
What's his OPS?
.220. His OPS plus is a negative 32.
His league average, by the way.
It's rough.
Right.
He's having it rough right now.
Negative 32. Bro, he's Jeff Mathis. He's doing the Mathis worse than Jeff Mathis.
They actually,
He's going backwards.
they would be a better team without him in the lineup. Just nothing in the lineup.
Yeah.
No one there.
Well, Shaq's they're striking out last.
He'd probably be better if he just stood there and like watched pitches. he might have a better WAR.
If he stood there with his bat straight out, thinking he'll do better.
That's
The
actually
ball move.
insane.
Yeah.
How much is Bones' WAR drop? He was like negative 1.2.
He's only negative
Like a week ago.
0.6. He's negative.
How is that even possible?
Yeah.
Okay.
This is on fan graphs. So yeah.
That's crazy.
Going off of that.
I was watching a Jolly Olive video, and I was just so over Alec Boehm at this point. That's crazy. Dude, that's crazy. Chuck is hitting that bad.
So I got a question. A little bit off base, but still baseball. Do you think if the records hold like they do now, which they won't, but if they did, is the NL West the best division of all time?
Yes.
Yeah, 100%.
Yes.
Without
question.
Even though you have the worst team in baseball in it?
Yeah. But every other team is almost over 600. Like
if we look at how bad the National League is in some, honestly, just how bad baseball has been in general, that division is doing so well to the point where you generally could have 4 teams fall into a playoff spot. And that's what's wild about it is, given everything I've seen with Philly right now, given the Braves' struggles and how much Milwaukee's pitching staff has looked like the home run derby this year, like, there is a strong possibility if Arizona or the Giants don't collapse in the second half of the year, you genuinely could get all 3 wild card spots out of the NL West. There is a genuine possibility, I believe, at this point. And I look at the Giants. If they don't collapse the second half of the year, like, you will get 4 teams from the NL West in the playoffs.
I want to see the Giants make a run, man. I think they'd be a fun team to watch.
I want to see the Snakes do well.
I want to see both of them do well because, like, the Giants.
I always like a good underdog story.
The Giants have only had one great year since, like, all the World Series, and that was that 105-win year with Gabe Kapler at the helm. I just want to point that out.
They got
with guys.
The check swing call to end the game and end their season.
But they had guys like Wilmer Flores, Lamont Wade, Evan Longo as a Giant.
Bell, back when he was
Brandon Bell, Brandon Crawford was still there at the time. Like, you had all those guys, led by, I don't think he won the Cy Young that year, but he was pretty close, Giants Kevin Gausman. Yeah. And Anthony DeSclafani.
Was that when Duvall was super good?
Yes, that was his best year by a country mile. He was unhittable that year.
But even if the Rockies have 115 losses, it's still the best division of all time?
Yes. Absolutely. I will die on that hill for saying that. Because if you get... There is a possibility that Diamondbacks are the 4th best team with 90 wins.
Well, the 4 of the top 7 records in baseball.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Like I said, you have a chance the Diamondbacks finish 4th with 90 wins.
This, honestly, the Dodgers have a chance of losing the division.
Yeah.
How good these teams are.
With how good they're playing.
Dude, the Padres right now... And who was right about staying high on the Padres? I just want to point that out. I was feeling pretty good.
We never said the
about
Padres were going to be bad.
You said they were going to trade people away.
I did. They didn't. I said if they came out ice cold. I said if they came out ice cold, they're going to trade people away.
I guess you did say that. I thought you had them not making the playoffs, though.
Yeah. Also,
Do
trade deadline's not till July 31st, right? So
That is very true.
yeah,
It's very early
you
in
got
the season.
a long time.
That's what I'm saying.
before it starts.
All it takes
Yeah.
is them to just absolutely collapse, and they're going to trade people away. I'm not saying it's going to happen. I think they're trending in the right direction.
Mhm.
But I never said they're going to be bad. I
I guess
said
that's
that
fair.
they're going to explode the team if they suck. Because they should. They ought to do that. Send Bogarts to somewhere useful.
Send Manny somewhere.
Nah, he's a lifetime Padre.
Send Bogarts
That's
to the
fair.
Rangers. Why not?
But I don't know, man. Like, I have a hard time with crowning a division with a team that's that bad. Like, cause you think about some great divisions, like the AL East a couple years ago was stacked.
Mm-hmm.
Back when you had the Orioles, you had the Red Sox, you had the Yankees, Blue Jays, like all of them crazy good. It wasn't that long ago either.
No.
I have an issue if the Rockies, if they get to like 90 maybe, 90 losses, okay, then we can have that conversation. But if they get to like 115,
I don't think they'll be 115. I don't think they'll
I
probably be
think
like
they're
102.
115 bad. I think they're the worst team in baseball.
I still think the White Sox.
I still
No,
think
it's
the
not
White
baseball.
Sox. I still think the White Sox. I mean, they're only.
How are you
they're half a game
5,000
difference.
feet in the air? You play 5,000 feet up and you don't have an offense. You can't hit the ball.
Because you
play in the mountains.
You
and
gave
you
a
can't
contract
score
to Chris
runs.
Bryant. That's why.
You can't.
Brisk
It kills me. You're at elevation, and your offense is one of the worst in baseball, if not the worst in baseball. How does
It
that
doesn't
work?
help right now. They're absolutely mangled in injuries. I'm not saying it would be doing better with it, but not having Tovar and Estrada and Doyle and who there was someone
And
else.
Estrada
Oh, and Freeman.
on their roster.
You got Tovar. I stand by it. Tovar is a star, and Brent Doyle is not too far from being there as well. It's just
I don't know. You give
their
me,
depth is disgustingly bad. It's not even major league average. It's well below major league average. Their
They are
depth.
the worst team in baseball. They're easily the worst team in the National League.
They're definitely the worst team in the National League.
Oh, yeah,
I don't
sure.
think they're the worst team in baseball. Well, I mean, right now, obviously, record shows they are.
Statistically, they're a half a game behind, but the White Sox. But I still think the White Sox are the worst.
The White
team.
Sox, I guess they know how to beat the Red Sox, but
Yeah.
Yeah, they don't
That's all
play
they've
him
really
anymore.
done. That's all
They
they've
don't play
really
him anymore.
done.
So,
Womp.
you know how many wins they've gotten outside of the Red Sox this year?
1.
2. It's crazy.
They beat the
It's
Angels.
crazy.
Yeah, on opening day.
Yeah.
That is
Yeah.
21 games ago, brother.
Wow.
Yeah.
So how's our
it's fair.
little bet going? Because I'm thinking everybody
So-
that was clowning me last week for being 4 games back or whatever, I'm catching up.
I mean, you did have like I said, light stretches always help. I mean, I can attest to this. The Reds took full advantage of it, and then beat the Orioles.
Hey,
which
don't
I'll
be
take.
calling the Orioles a light stretch. No, don't do that.
No, I said and then beat the Orioles. I told you they beat the Orioles. I said they had a light stretch and then they beat the Orioles.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was.
Let me go in there for a second.
Yeah, they played. Well, they beat the Giants, which I have no clue. So here's where it stands. We're all painfully mid.
I mean, to be expected.
Mikey's in first at 11 or 12 and 11.
Yeah.
I'm in second at 11 and 12. And Zach's still in last, but like he is 10 and 12, folks.
Count out the
Zach's
A's.
team
Tight race.
wins.
Hey,
If Zach
all I
team
gotta say
wins,
is I'm the fan vote.
the
I got
difference
fan
is a
vote.
game. The difference is a game.
Yeah.
Wait, what?
I think I got the fan vote. The
Fan.
rally cry,
Sure.
the dark
Sure,
horse
bud.
among the dark horses.
Sure, bud. Sure.
Yeah, name 3 Blue Jays fans.
Steve Dangle.
Canadians.
Okay.
Boom. Got you. There it is.
Listen, Toronto can bring out a crowd. That's the one thing I always give them
Yeah.
credit for. They can always bring out a crowd, even when their team's not doing great.
Yeah.
So can Montreal.
No. Not at
Yeah.
Olympic Stadium, no.
All I gotta say is their prospect, the A's prospect, top prospect, Mr. Nick, the first baseman. He just got called up, so add more pop to that lineup.
What position does he play?
The first baseman.
You mean where Soderstrom is?
DH is a position too.
You mean where Brent? Oh wait, isn't Brent Rooker playing there? No, he's in the outfield actually now. So
Right field.
actually, it's not bad. I don't know. Like I said, I'll give credit to the A's. Like your team has looked solid. The depth is still bad, like I said, but
Sure.
the bits that they paid and expected to do well are doing well, and I think that's a fair thing to say.
Crazy how that works.
Yeah,
Crazy
I know.
what happens when you spend money.
Yeah.
Ask the Pirates that question.
Well, the biggest thing right now is that you got 3 stars you could trust, although I say this and Jeffrey Springs got hurt with hamstring tightness, although it wasn't a throwing issue, so that's a good thing. The biggest thing is just going to be, can they find depth? I mean, Osvaldo Bido maybe, and like someone in the bullpen, please just figure it out for them. Because the offense is, like, there is stuff there. Jacob Wilson, my God, he looks unbelievable. Like, they've got young players that look solid.
You got that lineup, and you're gonna tell me Jacob Wilson's the best player on that team?
Which is
That's
crazy
crazy
to
to me.
think. He's swinging like Arias and chasing more than Arias, and it's working. It's one of the most unbelievable things I've ever seen. But, yeah.
Also, Spencer Strider, unrelated, but Spencer Strider did pull a hammy. He's back on the IL.
Dang.
He injured himself
Bye-bye.
playing catch.
Damn.
Strider. Come on, man.
Brakes can't catch a break sometimes.
Lock it in.
I guess you probably haven't seen too many games, Mikey, but what do you think about the Blue Jays? I mean, I know you're in first, so.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't seen much of the Blue Jays. I've been kind of running around school, baseball, all the fun
Their
stuff.
defense is good.
But yeah, that is the one thing that I've heard. Their defense has been playing well.
Outside of the 2
Vladdy.
guys they need to pay,
Yeah.
Vladdy and Bo are the 2 holes in that
Yeah.
defense. But
Yeah.
their
Yeah.
outfield is crazy.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Well, I was about to say Vladdy. He's kind of. I think he's doing really well offensively, isn't he?
No, he's doing fantastic
Well, I mean,
offensively.
Yeah.
he's got no stress now.
Yeah.
And you know who's been one of the
$500
best pitchers in baseball to start through April? If y'all said Chris Bassett, you would be correct.
Oh, I don't think
2-0 with a .77 average and 31 strikeouts. He went 5 innings and struck out 10 Braves. He's been unbelievable. He's been unbelievable. At 3 of his 4 outings so far, he's had 7 strikeouts or more. He's been like unhittable, which is crazy to think. But
Yeah, that's crazy.
and then I guess to kind of quickly wrap it up, the Reds are, well, the Reds.
Ellie.
As I've just said,
Very
they
strong.
went and scored 24 against the Orioles, and then proceeded to get blanked through 7 innings against the Marlins. This is the same team that
Baseball.
put 14 on the Rangers,
That's.
and then proceeded to not score for 38 or 36 innings
Yep. That's
in a
baseball.
row.
That's baseball.
This team is painful and frustrating. Every good game they play one that's miserable to watch. It's like there's no in between with this team. They either light the world on fire or just look horrible.
Yeah.
Or they light the dumpster on fire.
Exactly. And it's a shame because you got guys like Hunter Green and Andrew Abbott who have been great, and then you look at Nick Martinez and you just want to gouge your eyes out in the starting rotation.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. But we'll keep you updated on that stuff, folks, as April is getting close to drawing a close, as we are 22/23 games into the season. And keep updated because the loser of this will be doing the Ice Bucket Challenge. But, out of the way,
Oh, I don't know who I pointed at. I'm pointing at you on my screen.
Oh,
I'm pointing at you, Zach.
it's always fun. On my screen, Mike, you were pointing at me.
Oh, really? Nice. Nice.
And
There
you were
we go.
pointing at nothing said.
Yeah, for me, you were just pointing to the side of my computer. That's-
Yeah, you were pointing to the edge of the screen. Air traffic control right here from Zach. But I think with that, we're going to wrap this up. Is there anything else y'all want to add for tonight?
Have a
You
good
look
one.
deep in thought, Zach.
Have a good Easter. Have a good 50 days of Easter. Woohoo.
Let's hope the Orioles don't lose by 24 again. Or lose by 22 this time.
Don't do that.
I'm kidding.
No, don't do that. Don't do that.
Wax off speaking of tweets.
I wish many outings from Jordan Romano. How about that?
I'm sure he'll come out tomorrow and give up 5 runs.
Many save opportunities for
Many 5-run innings in my future, but
he'd fit right in with the Orioles. You
We'll
want Charlie
hope-
Morton? We're selling.
yeah. Here's hoping next week is better, is kinder to the 3 of our teams. But with that out of the way, thank you all for tuning in and watching the post bet. It's been 2 awesome months so far of doing this. I can't be more blessed to have these 2 along for this crazy ride that's sometimes putting up with me. But if y'all enjoyed, make sure you share this
Always
around.
putting up with you.
Exactly. No, you 2 are the best. I always appreciate y'all. But if you enjoyed this, make sure, if you're listening, share this around to everyone. And if you are watching this on YouTube, make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and turn on that bell for notifications so you don't miss out on anything else that we drop on this channel. Because all support means the world to us. But with that out of the way, we're going to get out of here. And y'all have a great night and enjoy your week.
Peace.
Peace.